4 mosques that were closed by the police last week after they were allegedly taken over by radical youths are expected to be reopened this afternoon. Minaa, Sakina, Muse and Swafaa mosques will be reopened after 2 days of talks between top Muslim leaders, professionals and the Mombasa County leadership.
Faithfuls and some coast leaders who had called on the government to reopen them. The mosques had been at the center of controversy over claims they were being used to radicalize youths in the coastal town of Mombasa. 2 days of talks between different leaders will now see Muslim leaders and professionals appoint a permanent sheikh for each and name a special committee to preside over the mosques in Kisauni and Majengo.
The national government, in conjunction with the county government, will provide adequate security to facilitate smooth running of all the mosques. 4, that those found to cause disturbances to be dealt with individually.
The mosques were closed last week by security officers after a raid on the Musa Mosque and a soup in which more than 250 youth were arrested and later charged with being members of a terrorist organization. That soup saw the police display various weapons and literature that were found in the mosques.
Sisi twasema msikiti ni mahali patakatifu na msikiti ni mahali pa ibada na msikiti lazima uheshimiwe kwa vile ipasavyo kuheshimiwa.
Even as the mosques are reopened this afternoon, it has been agreed that the government will reopen the mosques unconditionally and that a task force of 9 would be picked to run the 4 mosques and address the thorny question of youth radicalization, which has been blamed for the spate of attacks that have hit the tourist town ahead of Christmas holidays.
Let's now link up with our senior coast reporter, Ferdinand Omondi, who, as I understand, you're standing right outside a mosque which has been reopened. Could you please give us details of this?
Yes, good afternoon. It is right outside Masjid Musa here in Majengo, which has just reopened. And now speaking prayers are currently underway. A few minutes ago, Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho and Mombasa County Commander Robert Kikur and the County Commissioner Nelson Marwa unlocked the 2 entrances to Masjid Musa to allow for prayers with a call on the preachers there to teach what they describe as acceptable. At the same time, the County Commissioner Nelson Marwa has stated that the state will continue providing security and monitoring the areas to ensure that there's no breach of the law. But the local leaders have called on the people here to maintain peace and that those with divergent views not to resort to violence, but rather to speak to the people so that it can be a battle of ideas and not guns and flashes. It is.
All right, Ferdinand, can we just talk about this task force for a while? Because it's very unusual to have a group of individuals coordinating what is happening in places of worship. How exactly is this meant to work?
Well, as you know, the mosques were closed because the police or the state felt that they were under the management of people who are described as radical and who are allowing extremists views to be expressed here. So the demand was for new committees to be formed to actually monitor those who would be answerable to the state in case there are any breaches. And the resolution that the local leaders arrived at with the also religious leaders was that they would be placed under the management of area village elders. Committees have been done away with, at least for now. So it is Wazee Wamta, as they are called, from the local areas. For instance, Masjid Musa will be under the local leadership of the area leaders of Majengo. Swafaa will be under the local leaders of Kisauni, and Minaa in Town will also be under the local leader in that area, so that there is a bit of neutrality in the formation of what is an acceptable leadership of the 4 mosques. It is.
All right. Ferdinand, I'm just curious to know what the youth who attend these mosques, the ones who are being alleged to be extremists or to be radicalized, what their thoughts on this are, both the closing and now the reopening of the mosques.
To be honest, any of those who have been perceived to be radical have kept a low profile all through. The locals have come here, for example, in Masjid Musa in large numbers. So far, those who are speaking have been the local leaders. And even in fact, those who have been placed to manage them have decided to keep a low profile. you may realize that some of the moderate leaders of some other places have also been targets of unknown people, and a few imams who have been described as moderates have been killed. So those who are now currently under management are keeping a low profile, but hopefully this will be what it will be until now there's a bit of stability in the leaders. But so far it is only the state, local leaders and politicians who are speaking about the matter. But the general relief amongst the people that the mosques have been opened to be the places of prayer that they are meant to be.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ferdinand Omondi, keeping us abreast with news coming from that region.